First one, I went to Central Command. He did a huge strategic review, 6 ambassadors on that alone. And then he came back as a brigadier general for Afghanistan with me and established what came to be known as the Anti-Corruption Task Force. Again, something in that rule of law that was desperately needed, because if you don't have that rule of law, if you have that kind of corruption, it's a cancer inside the institutions to which we are trying to transfer tasks and authorities. And we had to come to grips with that. And then there still are very significant problems in that regard. But he's a thinker. He's a conceptualizer. He can organize people, tasks. He can not only get the intellectual architecture right, he can get the organizational architecture right. He can work well with others. Obviously, there are some other elements in the White House that are all advising. There's a degree of competition. I think it's always true, but there seems to be a good bit of that in this case. He's contending with that. He's actually got a number of the guys that work for me directly are doing his Mideast task force, his Afghanistan, his Asia, his strategy, and a bunch of others. So I'm actually very, very heartened by that selection. I think that he and the team that he has assembled will serve the president and the country exceedingly well. And it's why I have a reasonable degree of confidence that we're going to continue to build on the progress that has been achieved in Iraq and gradually in Syria and in Afghanistan, that there will be some changes so that we can maintain, again, in a sustainable way, the gains that we fought and sacrificed so much to achieve.
Have you given him or your former colleague, General Mattis, advice about going forward? Or would you? And if so, what would you say?
Only by text message. WhatsApp, no. Yes, but again, I probably ought to stay private. I mean, look, I think one of the, I think publicly known, you know, the question is going to be, how do you convey information? What's going to be the means by which you do this? Will you have the traditional deputies committees, principal committees, and then NSC meetings with the president and the chair, or will there be something else? And that is something that they're working through, and we've had a few discussions on that. But look, again, the nation could not be better served by this individual, and we are all very, very fortunate that he was willing to take on yet one more task in uniform.